Hello. Welcome to post-match report for Talk Football Live in regards to Aston Villa versus Brighton. Three key takeaways from that game. Recovery. Both teams lost during the midweek in the European competitions, Carabao competitions, and only one was able to recover. Because we as we stated in our last post, we suspected that both of them are going to, linger a little bit and try to find their form again. But it seems like Aston Villa came with a plan to, absorb pressure and, repel. And that's exactly what they did. Brighton played like they usually play, even though the likes of Mitoma, like I said, against Chelsea, was kind of disappointing. It's still disappointing. So he's part of those players that still going through the recovery phase. And because Aston Villa because Brighton were going through the wings, trying to attack through the wings, Aston Villa were able to counter the wings and then go through the middle to, apply pressure. And most of that pressure was done just by feeding the ball through the middle or overhead towards Oli Watkins. So first point is just recovery. The second point is I also think Aston Villa came into this game with a mindset of just playing in relaxed form, absorbing pressure, as I mentioned earlier, just taking one move at a time, seeing what Brighton does and reacting. Sometimes that doesn't always work in favor of the team, but it worked for Aston Villa. They were able to react instead of being proactive. They were accepting what Brighton is bringing and returning it. And the third and final point is just one name, Oli Watkins. Oli Watkins has only scored one goal this season, one Premier League goal this season against Chelsea, and he stepped up today and scored 3. He was on fire. He could have even scored 4 because the sixth goal was like a rebound, if I recall correctly. So I think Oli Watkins was the difference because I also think, of course, the Aston Villa the Brighton defenders didn't do as well as they should have done against him. Because after the first goal, you saw the way he moves, you saw the way he plays. You have to really body check him and stick with him. If you let him run, if you give him a chance, if you give him space, it will take over. So Oli Watkins is the real third factor. He was on form today and he really killed it. Every single ball every time he got the ball, it was a threat. So I think going forward, of course, Gareth Southgate was watching, so I think Oli Watkins is a very good pick for England. I don't know how they're going to pair him with Kane, if he's going to play on the wings or if Gareth Southgate is going to play 2 attackers. But either way, there's something about Oli Watkins. He can play as the way Son used to play with Kane in Spurs, because Kane comes to the midfield, gets the ball and throw out passes. And Kane can also play up front. Oli Watkins or Son that used to come on the wing or come through the center can do that. Oli Watkins can do that for England. So I think it was a very great game, 6-1 final score. Well, I think that was the worst defeat of De Zerbi's Brighton career, and it was wild. It was basically at some point when it was like 2-0, 3-0, I thought Brighton was going to start doing countermeasures, defensive measures, basically to limit damage limitation, but they didn't do that. They were trying to score. They scored 1, they got 1 back, but of course Aston Villa replied. So it was a very great game, and thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, share this with friends and loved ones, and we look forward to seeing more of you. Thank you.